everybody, one of Wiisdom here. It is 1:45 in the morning, Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. I gotta be to work here in a couple hours. I'll be solo at the office for the start of the day. And why not go ahead and do this with our time, right? I'm sure YouTube will just flag it and make me appeal it, even though I can't appeal it, and it'll just be a fantastic use of our time. That said, we're still sort of working through what we want to do in terms of how we're going to separate the Imaginator research, present the Imaginator research, so on and so forth. And this is kind of another test run here, but what I plan to do, as you know from the last video, or if you don't know because you didn't see it because YouTube doesn't send notifications, what I did, I went ahead, I wanted to make a Fire Bowslinger. I mean, for Pete's sake, when you put this Fire Creation Crystal on, you've got Flame Slinger going back, SSA and Giants. So, it only seems right to me, plus that's one of my preferred combinations for Fire Element, at least at this point, not knowing everything there is to know. So, we made a Fire Bowslinger, but I also made a Life Bowslinger, and for good reason. I thought it might help us out here, sort of document everything. And so what we want to do, this is our Fire Bowslinger level 1. The highlight from last video is apparently not many people were aware that you could just leave your Skylander in Starman form or particulate form. So you're welcome. I really wish I could have added like a color schematic to this. Like since this is fire, it'd be like a red, orange, yellow. The Life Bowslinger would sort of have like a green tone to them. For whatever reason, you can select that. It just doesn't apply over this particular texture. The Life Bowslinger, just so we can differentiate between them a little easier, I went ahead and put like a garden variety tunic on him. Maybe a precursor of things to come, but it in no way, shape, or form impacts the damage that he deals. So, level 1 Bowslinger, what we've got, we had 240 health, box stock level 1. The attack damage 8, armor 6, speed 8, and luck 8. Again, doesn't matter what, as far as I know, I haven't done all of them, but the ones that I've done and replicated, we have never had anything short of a direct overlap. Basically what I'm saying, if you're like, well, I'd make a Fire Bowslinger, but wouldn't a Water Bowslinger be better? They're probably going to have the exact same stats. Again, everything I have personally tested has come out just aces in that manner. If there is, perchance, a crystal, and when I brought this up and it was a revelation to me, everyone was like, yeah, that's just kind of how it is. If there is, say, like a Light Bowslinger would have 9 attack damage, I'm not too concerned about it. I would love to know, but the truth is, it's kind of a pain to reset the crystals, and I don't have the funds to go out and buy said crystals. So what we want to do here, we've taken a look at the health and the 4 statistics we care about, so let's look at the powers here. We're going to get started. We're going to use long shot first. You're going to press X to fling arrows at your enemies. What we will do in this video, we're solely going to focus on the weapon power and the secret technique. And the reason I've gone ahead and selected to do that in the soul gem, of course, the reason I picked those two, number one, if we just did the weapon powers, it would be a very short video, which would actually probably be better for YouTube. Let's not kid ourselves. And if that's something people prefer, if you just want to see like a 10-15 minute video, if we drag it out on the weapon powers, I can do that. The secret technique, though, again, if you want to see those 4 upgrades in their mastery in a standalone video, I can make that happen. Let me know in the comments section. My logic is any Bowslinger that we put on this portal, regardless of what elemental class it may be, the weapon power, the secret technique, and the soul gem are all exactly the same. So if we go through this and it's a little bit longer than I would like, maybe we'll split it. If I get feedback that says, hey, I would really be more interested in knowing the weapon power and the secret techniques as standalone videos, I can make that happen. So for this iteration of Imaginators research, we're just going to combine those two and kind of see how it goes with the soul gem, of course. So secret technique, I can only showcase 2 of these here, and don't worry, we have a way to cover everything else. So primary attack right here, our X attack on the X bone, if you will, is going to be the long shot. And as you can see, it does 29 standard. If we ever fire a crit, we will do 44. And I don't know if we're ever going to get one. It's half a twin. There we go. 44, you saw it. Okay, right as we start to do the math in our heads. So 29 to 44. And then the secret technique is going to be your tertiary attack, if you will. So right there, this is the slow shot. And that terminated. It's going to always have that explosion. Now, that explosion can happen just as it did there with no implications for me, or I can trigger it by shooting it. But the first thing we want to showcase is that this missile or bomb, if you will, as it passes through the dummies, is actually going to do damage in and of itself. Not much, but it does do something. It's going to do 11 to 17 on impact. Boom. Should get to the second dummy. And then the explosion, which as you can see has a decent range. It was able to get both dummies, 108 to 162. Now the catch being, you don't have to sit here and just wait, right? That's kind of lame. So if you were to shoot that thing out, kind of let it get close to where you want it to be, and then fire an arrow, you can just explode it on at will. So if you ever have enemies right up on you, you can shoot this, you can then immediately fire an arrow, and it's going to detonate the explosion. You can, I believe, yeah, anytime you also press another instance of that, the first one will just terminate. That's another way to pull it off. It's not quite as quick as using your primary attack. Just out of curiosity, does the secondary or the elemental power? The elemental power does not seem to phase it. So if that was interesting, we're going to have a standalone video for the elemental power. But that's what we've got with those two. Now we're going to switch to multi-shot. Press X to fire a spread of 3 arrows. And we'll go ahead here with secret technique. Again, it's weird if you think, hey, why don't you have those first two? Well, this unlocks at level 2. This unlocks at level 4. The third one here, it's when you defeat the Bowslinger, Doomlander, if you will, Chaos's creation. So that's how we acquired that. And then this next one is actually going to be tied into, do you have Robo, Wolfgang, Buckshot, etc.? It's sort of what they teach you. So we technically have 3 and 4, the higher tiered ones. But since we have them and we can showcase them at a pure box stock level 1, that's what I'm going to do. So we will take a look now at lob shots. So let's back out of here. Our primary is now the spread shot. It shoots 3 arrows. It does 9 to 14. What's weird to me is that they've got green with them, right? And you're thinking, well, yeah, that's because you're the Life Skylander, man. No. This is our Fire Bowslinger. So that's kind of sad in my opinion. But it looks cool nonetheless. It just doesn't really fit a Fire Bowslinger or a Light Bowslinger. Life, it's fantastic. It works great. But 9 to 14, again, 3 arrows. Let's see. It's not, I guess it's fairly spammable. It doesn't really have the range, in my opinion, that the long shot does. So that's sort of your catch-22, and then of course lower damage numbers, as opposed to the singular arrow at 29. If all 3 of those point-blank range somehow hit an enemy, it would only do 27 cumulative across the board. Now the lob shot, which again you get if you've got any Bowslinger Sensei. So if you picked up Robo and you're making a Fire Bowslinger, boom, you got this. Now the way this works, it's I believe 5 arrows, and this one is set up. Where did I log it? 5 arrows, 19 to 29 on impact, and then 19 to 29 on the explosion. So I'm not quite sure if it's very difficult to place this here, but you saw that 19 there, like we clearly did not hit that with an arrow, but we saw 19. So 19 to 29 if an arrow hits, 19 to 29 if an explosion occurs within proximity of an enemy, and then the 8 to 12 is happening 5 times. That's like sort of a poisonous gas effect. It's interesting to me that it's purple. Again, the arrows in long shot are green, and then lob shot has purple, which I sort of associate with magic and royalty type of stuff. But that is that. I do have the soul gem here. And the soul gem is, of course, found in the Dragon Temple for the Bowslinger Imaginators. It is called Volley Storm. It is going to do 32 to 48 on explosion, and this is what it looks like. I have never really seen an arrow make contact in any of my tests. And actually, it looks like we did hit this dummy that time. I saw it sort of flinch and move, but it registered no damage. So the damage seems to be 32 to 48 on an explosion. I have no idea how many there are. I would have to pause and count, which I could do, but I don't really have time to. So that's sort of a moot point too. But in my quest to research this fully before we came in and talked about it together, if you're point blank range with an enemy and you trigger the soul gem, you see that 44? We actually get a 29 to 44 on the stroke of the attack. So sort of as the singular arrow is shot upwards, you're doing the same damage you would do with the box stock long shot, your beginning primary attack. So I kind of thought that was cool. It's going to be a rare situation where you're like, ooh, let's do the volley shot soul gem attack, and you're just going to walk right up to an enemy to do the 29. But if you're like, oh man, I've got to use that for area of effect, and there happens to be someone near you, doesn't hurt to do another 29 to 44, at least in my opinion. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting. So this guy, he's level 1. I've shown you everything I can. We're not even worried about elemental power. There's stuff locked out at 3 and 5. Secret technique, we'd need to be level 2 and level 4 respectively. So what I'm going to do is pull the Fire Bowslinger, and we're going to switch to the life guy. Again, he does have a tunic, a chest plate, a shirt, whatever you want to call it, and that was a plain Jane one. It does nothing to the attack damage. It gives him no statistical benefits or increases at all. It's just plain Jane low grade starter material, if you will. So it always takes this one I was going to say it always takes this one a long time to load, but as you can see, let's try it again. Okay, it's on the portal. I've not left the chair. I'll go leave the chair. How about that? Come on. I have to. Oh, this happens all the time. If you wonder what I'm doing, I'm sitting in a chair watching the same thing you're watching. I can't tell you how many times I have this happen. And it's usually when I'm not recording, right? Because we typically don't have to switch Skylanders. It's really annoying. So I'm going to go pick it up and place it and see what we can do. Third time's the charm, apparently. So, this is a Life Bowslinger. As you'll notice, he is level 5. And just for giggles, he's wearing sort of a foresty type tunic, right? So, what we want to do first thing is take a look at how he's different. So, I'm going to come down here. Level 5, we are at 336 health box stock. Level 1, we're at 240. So that's a substantial increase of 96 across those levels. We'll fill it in later. I could probably break it down. Sometimes the math is a little off, but hey, it is what it is. The attack damage is at 16. Box stock, that is 8. The armor, we've gone from 6 to 8. Again, these things don't really... You could figure out how the attack is going up and just assume everything has that same interval. It does not, and that's why you almost literally have to come in and log this every single step of the way to have some idea what to expect. The speed or agility, we're sitting at 11. Box stock, we were 8. Luck, we were also box stock at 8, and it is increased to 14. So attack, speed, and luck, we're all at 8. And attack has doubled, speed has added 3, and luck has added 6. It is what it is, man. That's all I can tell you. Now, what I want to showcase here, we're going to come in and we'll take a look at the long shots. And then we want to go to our secret technique, and we will start with the knockback shot, which again unlocks at level 2, which we don't have with the other guys. You'll be seeing it for the first time. Keep in mind level 5 numbers. So the primary attack now, we were doing 29 to 44 to begin with. We are at 31 to 47, which doesn't quite seem right, does it? Just +2 across 5 levels. Kind of strange, but whatever. The secret technique, number 1, the knockback shot, I actually kind of like this. Let me show you the animation. You basically, it's almost like a FPS type of a move, which just saying that will probably get this video flagged by that super amazing AI bot. You can sometimes, if you're running, you can sort of trigger like these sweet moves. If you're just stationary, it's sort of like you literally jump back and you shoot down at the ground. So 41 to 62 is what we do at level 5. Again, we technically unlock this at level 2. I'll come through with the Fire Bowslinger and I'll attempt to document that. But the reason we care about level 5 is it is our baseline for Imaginators. And I've covered this before. Basically, it's at this point that every single upgrade we can get is available to us. So it's mainly the elemental powers at 3 and 5. Technically, secret technique we'd have complete at level 4. But to keep everything fair and even across the board, level 5 is where everything is available. And we can basically come in and document it there. And that to me is the most logical and practical way to do this. And since there's not a strategy guide, it's what I'm going to do. I will, like I said, attempt to document everything as best I can ahead of time. But to me, level 5 for an Imaginator is level 1 for a standard Skylander. So that's what we've got there. We've seen the knockback. You've seen the long shot. So what we want to do now is not that. We want to come in and we want to look at the multi-shot. And then on our secret technique, we want to look at target tag, which is pretty cool. So the multi-shot, if you note here, you're like, wait, it's green. That's what it was with the fire guy. It just is more fitting here with life. It's the exact same, 9 to 14. We don't have any increase in range. It's the exact same thing, which is, again, kind of disappointing. The secret technique, target tag, this is sort of cool, I've got to say. Basically, if you press Y and you just press it again, well, let me see. I had this working so well. You'll do 23 and you're like, that's kind of stupid. 23 to 35, your regular shot does that without that stupid little thing on the ground. And that thing on the ground, basically, if you slide it through enemies, you do that. You eventually do time out, but basically you can do that, and then if you press Y, note, I'm way over here, well, right here, okay? And I'm going to highlight mags, which doesn't really matter. So we'll try to bring it back. If mags was something we could highlight, we would hit everything. So if there's an enemy here, 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 and then these two guys and someone over there, it would basically fire arrows that do 23 to 35 everywhere we went. So the main thing, when I do that, he turns red. I didn't hit the other guy, so we only shoot that dummy. That's, again, painting the targets, if you will. So it's a pretty unique attack, I've got to say. Whoops, that's elemental. That's hype for a coming video. So what we want to showcase now, we've done everything we can do with the primaries, and so down here we've still got a couple things to showcase. Slow shot, which you've already seen, is now level 5, right? So what we were doing was not filling in spreadsheet cells like that. The slow shot was, where is it? 11 to 17, 108 to 62. And this time around, check it out. Kind of blew that. 116 you saw there, but let's come right up on these dummies. The 11 to 17 is now 12 to 18, and then the explosion is going to be 116 to 174, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, in our secret technique, our final one, the lob shot, again, which you are familiar with, we will back out, level 5 attack damage numbers, boom. Not too crazy, right? We were doing 19 to 29. We are now doing 21 to 32. The gas, 5 times at 8 to 12, it's exactly the same thing. Box stock level 1, you get 5 hits with the poison gas at 8 to 12. Exactly the same here at level 5. So, I don't want to buy the soul gem just yet because let me check the video length here. We're at 20 minutes. I've probably made a bad decision time-wise. But, again, this is a learning curve. You can give me your feedback here. What I want to do now is upgrade these. So long shot at level 5, we've documented. We're going to come in and upgrade it. Master long shot. Press X to add an additional arcing arrow whenever you shoot. Which is strange. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I assume it's just going to happen. 700 is the price. So, note now, you can never revert back. So if anything you see here you hate, never purchase it. Okay, it just happens automatically. That's awesome. It's a little straggler. Okay, and it does increase the damage, which is great. I have 0 complaints about that. So, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I had level 1 on my mind. Level 5 mastered. We're still doing 31 to 47. And then the arcing arrow is going to be 13. If we ever did get a critical off of that, it would be 20. Let's see if we can do that, actually. Know what this is? Oh, yeah, we got the crit right there. So that's pretty cool. And it's kind of neat that it doesn't hone in on the same enemy. What happens if I try to split the middle? Okay, so every time here... Why does it, like, jump back to us? You see that little spark? It's like the arcing arrow hits that and comes back. I don't understand that, but hey. It's sort of cool, so we will run with that. Now, what we're going to do is upgrade to the multi-shot. We'll press Y here. Master multi-shot. Press X to fire a spread of 4 arrows with a wider range. So keep in mind, we were shooting 3. It was kind of short distance, and it didn't really have that big of a fan out. So now for 700, we will be upgrading that. And we then have to select it, which I still think is kind of weird. Like if you purchase it, you would seem to want the upgrade, right? Okay, so the distance, as you can see, it might be a little better. It's not fantastic. It's not long shot, essentially. It's still 9 to 14. We just added a 4th arrow. So the fan out, though, is significantly improved. I think that would be worthwhile if you prefer this. So 4 arrows, 9 to 14. Then we will skip our elemental stuff for the time being. We're to the secret techniques now. So what we will do... You know what? Let's just... It doesn't matter. We'll just reverse order these. We can do what we want. There's no set format. So we've got the lob shot here. It's what you saw most recently. We're going to upgrade it. Mastered lob shot. Press Y to fire multiple lobbed arrows. Okay, we're kind of already doing that because we had 5 of them, right? So that's interesting, but whatever, we'll purchase it. Hopefully I have enough cash sitting around. I may not be able to purchase the soul gem level 5. I'm not worried. I'll have it documented. Oh man, that is nice. So it looks like instead of doing 5, are we doing 10? 2, 3, let me try to count this. 1, 2, 3, it's a triangular 3 at the base. 4, 5, 6, 7, it's 10. So we've got 3 at the top, 2 on the second to the top. So it's a 3, 2, 2, 1, 5, no. 3, 2, 2, 2, 1. So up towards mags, we're going to have a row of 3. Below that, there are 2. After that, there's going to be 2 more sort of kilted to the side. Then we have a band of 2 to the right. And then right in front of us, we have a lone arrow. So 10 arrows, that's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead. The mastered will be 10 arrows, and let's try this again. 26 on impact, I'm going to say. 26 to 39 impact. I'm assuming 26 to 39 explosion. Let's see if we can stage that, perhaps. Dadgum. This has really good range. Yep, did you see that 26 there? Again, the arrow doesn't hit him, but then when it explodes, it does 26. Now, are we still getting 5 hits? I think so. Yeah, so 10 to 15, 5 times. So gas is 10 to 15, 5 times. That's a pretty significant jump. We were doing 21 to 32 at level 5. It's up to 26 to 39, and then the gas that was 8 to 12 is now 10 to 15. So a maximum of 60 from the gas is now a maximum of 75. The arrows themselves, we're doubling them. You know, we're not only going from 21 to 26, but we're doubling the number of arrows that do 21 to 26. So that turns out to be a pretty worthwhile upgrade in my opinion. All right, now we're going to come back with slow shots. And let's upgrade it to the mastered slow shot. Press Y to fire a slow explosive that drags enemies in and can be shot again to explode for extra damage. They would do something ridiculous like this. So press Y to fire a slow explosive that drags enemies in. I'm not sure what they mean by that. And can be shot again to explode for extra damage. We have to select it again, which is clunky in my opinion. So we can't drag these guys in. Oh, maybe they mean suck in would be better terminology. 12 on impact. 116. Really? Huh. Okay, well. 12 to 18 touch. Explodes 116 to 174, which both of those intervals are the exact same. I'm gonna put pulls enemies in. I don't understand what it means can be shot again. Wait, what was that 44 about? So a 29 to 44. So if I press Y to shoot another one, that one will just detonate at 29. That's kind of cruddy. Like, I could do that previously, but it would detonate at full speed. Like at, you know, the highest numbers possible. Huh. I don't know about that one. Pulls enemies in. Auto detonate 29 to 44. So, strange. We might run upstairs and check that out. Make sure we're not like missing something gloriously amazing. That said, hopefully we can pull off this stuff financially. Target tag, which is pretty cool, we want to upgrade. Mastered target tag. Press Y to target enemies faster than ever, doing even more damage. So, there we are. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we can't do. Once again, this was dealing out 23 to 35. That's a way bigger spot on the pavement there, right? So, oh yeah. Oh wow, that's an increase. That's a okay. This is why we do what we do. So, 23 to 35 is now 110 to 165 with huge target tag. I'm just gonna call it a target tag. I don't know what else to call it, but you know, like you have things that do no increase, and then there's like volley shot, or lob shot I should say, was pretty good. You know, it jumped up 5, and the explosion increased from 8 to 10. And then target tag that was doing 23 to 35 at level 5. Like right before we bought that, we were doing 23 to 35 with this. We're now doing 110. Like, that's an upgrade right there. And that might be what you would want. Lob shot's pretty cool. Slow shot we'll have to investigate, but freaking A. Target tag got a jump right there, did it not? Speaking of that, we've got one more to go, I do believe. Soul Gem if we can afford it. So it's the good old knockback shot, which again to me is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and select it and then upgrade it. Mastered knockback shot, which based on that, it's going to be amazing. Press Y to fire an explosive shot that leaves a lingering cloud of damage. Sold, Captain. Alright, so let's take a look at this thing. About 11 seconds. Let me count again. Yeah, 10 to 11 seconds. So, knockback shot. Let's see what we do damage-wise. 41 to 62. Oh, good lord. This is great. So 41 to 62. The impact, yeah, you know, that's the same as it was at level 5. But then there's the cloud. So 11-second cloud, which that was 23 to 35, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 instances of damage. That's sort of what we care more about. 23 to 35 7 times. So it's sort of a slow hitter. It's sort of like every 2 ticks instead of every 1 tick type of an attack. But man, they did some cool stuff there. And it looks like we can in fact afford to purchase the Soul Gem, which I will go ahead and do just because we, you know, showcased it. 4,000 is the price. I'll probably have to get some more cash for the elemental stuff, but not a big deal there. So we got it, and if you were curious, there's no mastered version of the Soul Gem, so it's just, it is what it is, right? Now, the Volley Storm, as we showcased with the Fire Bowslinger at level 1. The Stroke, 29 to 44 if it happens, and then all of the explosions, 32 to 48. So, let's come in here, we'll take a look at the, whoops, wrong button. We'll take a look at that, 35. Nice. Not quite the increase you'd hope for, but I'll take it. So, let's check the Stroke out first. So if I press the Soul Gem, 31, okay, that's workable. So the Stroke up is going to be 31, half of that would be 15, 5, 16. So we would essentially be at 47 on the Stroke. And then Explosion, 35 to 53, right? I think that's it, man. That's what it is. So, there we are. That's pretty much everything specific to a Bowslinger. Showcased between a level 1 Fire and a level 5 Life. I do want to run in here and check this out, but this chest is actually from the Fire Element crystal. Again, we had never actually placed a Fire Creation Crystal on the portal until the other night. So let's go ahead and open up. I know it's a Life guy, but hey. And you know what? I had been logging these somewhere. I'm not sure where I was doing that. Somewhere. I'll just pin it in here. So Fire Creation, no, Fire Imaginate Chest is what I'll call this. Okay, and then we've got common, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So Control C. And let's see here what we get.
New arms.
Okay. And they don't always do this in the same order. Oh, I logged this already. Why? What? Weird. Fire Dancer. Arms. And next up. See how they do legs? They like skip. They don't really go in the order you would think. I swear I've already done this though. I guess I did it from a different save file, but I'm not sure where I pinned it. So, and then sometimes it's like, you know, blank blank chest, and in this case it's blank blank torso. So you can never be generic. You always have to like take the time to come through and figure out exactly what the hell it is. Like to me, I would go top down. We'd go head, chest, arms, legs. That's just me. So head is Fire Dancer head, and then the headgear, which is also common, is going to be the feathers plus 5 luck. I know I've done this and I remember typing it out. I just don't know where it is, so I'm doing it again because we're here and it saves me time. Doesn't necessarily interest you, but whatever. Alright, here we are. We're going to enter this mess. And the main thing we're coming in here is to figure out what the heck they think they've done with the slow shot. I need to know if it does anything special, because I'm not sure that it does. So, man, he's not quite as quick in here, is he? It's It's always a buzzkill. But once we get these guys taken care of, we'll do some cool stuff. So let's go ahead and do this. Wait, have to switch back to that. Which, it's cool you can switch on the fly, though. You got to admit. So, mastered slow shot. Fire slow explosive, drags enemies in, and can be shot again to explode for extra damage. I can't believe they did that. So it doesn't do anything. Like, literally nothing. Damage-wise. It is cool. It kind of keeps them away from us. And then... yeah. Okay, you know what? You've got to see this for yourself. So, basically, if I press Y again, we do 29 to 44. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it doesn't do damage. But if you're close enough, I think it will. So, let's see. I'm glad he loaded right up. We're at the 35-minute mark. That's not good. I want to keep these a little shorter. So, okay. What do we have with the fire guy right now? Lob shot. We want slow shot. Okay. So, check this out. If I slow shot this dude... oh, it's 27 to 41. What? 27 to 41. 27 to 41. Oh, that's weak. That's really weak. So let me go ahead and pin that at level 1 for the fire guy. And 11 to 17 impact, 108 to 162 explosion. And so it's not like you unlock it. We're clearly doing it here at level 1. 27 to 41 auto detonate. Cool. So that is it, man. This is our Bowslinger showcased by way of a level 1 Fire Bowslinger and a level 5 Life Bowslinger. Now, let me know your thoughts. If you literally, we could break this down. The secret techniques, I would say we'd probably need 20 minutes or so. The elemental powers would probably be like another 10, not elemental, but weapon power, because we would showcase them. And I can do only level 5 as well, if that's what people prefer. I just thought it'd be cool here to compare and contrast level 1 to 5 since we could. But if I come in at level 5, we would showcase level 5 damage, and then we would buy the mastered, showcase that. The weapon power, there would literally be 4 things we would showcase in that scenario. If we do a level 1 character in addition to a level 5, there would be 6. I can just tell you what it was at level 1 and save us some time. That might be the way to do it. So that would be a very, very short video. But again, to me, it ties in with the soul gem, with the secret techniques really well. But I don't know, again, the shorter the video, the better you will do on YouTube. They penalize you if you make long videos, because if people click away at the 16-minute mark, they watched half of this video, we'll say. Whereas if you make a 2-minute video and people click away at the, or watch the whole thing because it's 2 minutes, or watch, a minute of it, they get credit for 50% viewer retention, just like I should get for that video. And then mine should be better because it's like I kept people for 16 minutes and that person kept them for 1 minute, which would indicate to me that the quality of the video is worse than the one that they stayed watching for longer. But that's not how YouTube works. So it's just ridiculous. And the main thing, though, I can break it down if that's what people would prefer. And again, I could save a lot of time. I think we could keep these under 30 minutes, showcasing level 5 and level 5 mastered across the board. This extra level 1 stuff was kind of the killer, I think. But oh, hallelujah, it loaded. Since this guy is level 5 now, I don't want to create it immediately because I would like to spend my time on it, and I'll probably do it off camera here. But, oh snap, here's what I was wanting to do with this guy, okay? Oh, a Chompy would be so cool. That's actually pretty cool. I used him on my first ever one. What I wanted to do, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I kind of wanted to make... Ooh, Flameslinger. Not a life element Flameslinger. That would be a little creepy for Stealth Elf. I wanted to make a Robin Hood. I thought Robin Hood would be a really, really cool Skylander, right?
Hey.
That doesn't quite look like I need it to. You sort of need more of like a human head, I think. Again, this is gonna take a lot of time here.
Hear ye, hear ye!
That's not bad. That's a terrible voice.
What's up?
Terrible voice again.
Greetings. Duty calls.
No. So yeah, this is the problem I'm gonna run into. Like, I've got what I want to do, but I don't want to rush through it, type of a thing. But yeah, that was my idea, was to make a Robin Hood, right? I thought it would sort of be cool. So next time you see this guy, it might just be... it's not terrible. It might be Robin Hood, but I kind of want to go through all the pieces and sort of pick something out that I think would be cool. So that's the plan with this. If I wind up not liking it, or I come up with a better idea, I'll reset it or whatever. But that is the plan. That's why I went ahead and made a Life Bowslinger. I was like, haha, Robin Hood type of a deal. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if you're interested, I can show you the finished product. Again, right now at the 40-minute mark, I can't really justify doing that. So, but if you've got ideas here, if you want me to break down weapon power and secret technique into standalone videos, I could totally do that. If you just strictly, if you're like, hey, you know, if you cut out that, you know, level 1 crud, you know, that we don't technically care about, this would have been probably 30 minutes, I'd be fine with that. Let me know. Again, my deal is just I have to put out the content I want to put out in the manner I want it to, but then I also kind of have to factor in how ridiculous YouTube is and try to manipulate my content somewhat to fit what they consider things, because again, somebody could click a 30-second video and just be like, wow, that was incredibly stupid, but if you were there for the whole time, it's 100%. That person gets credit for, boom, viewer retention extraordinaire, my friend. I could come in and have this 45-minute video that some of you will watch full way through, or 40 minutes of, and even though I kept you here for 40 minutes and they kept you there for 30 seconds, I'm penalized because someone didn't watch the full length of the video, right? So it's stupid, it's dumb. It's actually better, you know, like to have people dislike videos than just, you know, not doing it. It's insane. Just how backwards everything has gotten, but I'll try maybe next time, or again, if there's any interest in it, I will attempt to showcase my Robin Hood. But again, I'm someone I've got what I want in my head, and I'm not seeing it here, and I'll have to go see if I can even like make it happen. It's not terrible. I wish he wasn't green in the face. Fine with the shirt being green, but not the face so much. So I'll go see what I can do. I'll just have fun while this like edits and renders, because I kind of need to get it uploading. Because again, I've got work here in a little bit. But hey, let me know your thoughts on this. If you'd like it broken down, if you'd like me just to eliminate entirely the level 1 stuff, I would be fine with that. Again, I will have it documented when I upload the spreadsheets, most likely. But truth be told, level 5 just makes the most sense, because that's the first point we can get everything. And then, of course, showcasing the level 5 mastered stuff, I could potentially make that a standalone video. Just, you know, if you got ideas or feedback or preferences, let me know. But that said, I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little something. And for myself, a potential Robin Hood, the fire guy, and all the numbers we've just put into a spreadsheet. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you guys back here for the next installment of Skylanders Research. Adios.